Hi there, it's me again. So, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna try and do a Q&A series. I went onto a forum on Deviant and asked, to find out what some default questions are. I put up 4 of them. So I'll answer the 4 that I found, and then during the course of the video, I'll I'll try and talk up more, and then hopefully with other people that are watching the video, you can post in the comments your own questions for future videos, and if I get enough comments, I'll do one of these again. Alright, so let's take the first question. Number 1, when did you start drawing? Well, to answer that, I started young, like 6, 4. Like everyone else, I just started drawing. I was really envious of my sister when I started drawing, because she was doing pictures of the cats and stuff like that, and the way that her drawings came out inspired me. Like it was really good, so I wanted to, I felt like I can do that. So I just started drawing, putting pencil to paper, and I mean, the main reason why I draw now is just because it's relaxing, and it de-stresses me, and but no, I mean, it's kind of funny too, because like I work on stuff that my drawings. I guess it was just the perception of it, but I knew that my drawings weren't good, like they are now. But it's funny, the stuff that I was struggling on or was practicing always seemed to get better around my birthday. Like it came like my drawings became a lot better as I grew up. It just happened that every time I became a year older, I noticed the increase. In quality, that should I say, but that's not that's not actually the case. What it is if you stop drawing for a while, like anything else, if you don't use the skill, it's going to become rusty, and you lose some of the edge. So if you do want to become like as good as you see on other channels or anything like mine, then you have to draw often and regularly. And if you're just starting out to draw, then you're not going to be able to pull off like a Leonardo da Vinci or anything like that. So don't, it's important that you have to moderate your expectations, and and that's a hard pill to swallow even now for me, because in my mind I see the images of my drawings that I want, and in my mind they're absolutely perfect, gorgeous pictures, but in reality when they come to putting the pencil on the paper, they're not anything like that at all. So you just gotta realize, even though you have an idea of what you want to draw and what it should come out looking like, just realize when you're starting to draw, it's not gonna come out like that. Not at first, anyway. Let's see, number 2. Do you get frustrated with your drawings? I picked this one to answer because it's a good question. Even now, I do get frustrated. And I just stopped the drawing. And recently I was going to do Emma Watson for one of the medium YouTubers, and sometimes you have to practice the drawings to get it right, and the first one that I did was horrendous, so I just stopped it. The second one, second attempt that I did yesterday, sorry, it was going good. It was just it wasn't until after that I noticed the mistake that I made, her left side jawline too wide for my eyes, and it was enough to throw it off. And I know to most people they would just say, well, you just fix it. If you notice the mistake, just fix it. And I really can't, because the drawings that I do, or that I'm used to, I learned that you don't erase anything. If you make a mistake, trying to incorporate it into what you're drawing, own it. I mean, everything that you got to do when you put the pencil or pen to the paper, you have to be quite deliberate and sure of what you want to do. And and the reason why you do light outlines like I'm doing on here is because if I want to erase stuff, I still can, and even if I erase it, it won't leave a mark on it. But by the time I noticed, I had already gone in on heavier pencil that you see me do, and it was just like, so I stopped. And it's more the fact that I'm frustrated with myself, because it's human error every time. Whether if it's my perception or if I'm not focused enough. This time I don't know how I did it. Everything else was coming out okay, and it was okay. I just missed it, and that was it. But that isn't to say that the opposite isn't true. Most of the time when I see it, I just Like you can become really happy and proud of your work, like the drawings I did of the YouTubers and stuff like that, Mad King and Sierra, because drawings or portraits of people is pretty common. People do it all the time, but unlike regular drawings like the one I'm doing now, there's a lot of pressure associated with them, because people have different reactions once they see themselves on paper. Some people don't like the way they look or how they appear on pictures like that, so they prefer you to lie and take artistic license to make them look better than they actually are. But when you start drawing someone, when the likeness and the features start coming up on the paper, like as soon as you finish drawing them and say, there they are, that's them, I can see them now. I feel proud of myself because I've captured their likeness. So although I get frustrated with my messes and stuff like that, the opposite is also true. Like with most things, you're your own worst enemy. But if that is true, then the opposite is also true. You're your own best friend. So you've got to be just as praising with yourself as you are hard on yourself. So if you're going to punish yourself for doing a bad drawing, then you've got to remember that you've got to praise yourself just as equally. Uh, Almost done with Sarah the telebug.
My scanners detect a human conflict situation.
The Telebugs is an old 80s show that I used to watch. Number 3, what do you look for when you're deciding? What do you look for when deciding what to draw? Well, this is a good time. So, when you're looking for something to draw, when you're starting to learn to draw, you want to pick something that's at your level. You want to do, my style of drawing is draw what you see, and that's honestly the best way to get better at drawing, is just draw what you see. Some say it's tracing or whatever, but it's up to you. It's just the best way to learn, before you can develop your own style, you got to learn the basics before you can develop your own style of drawing. So, Danger Mouse. I don't like the new Danger Mouse. I don't know why they had to redo it.
He's the greatest.
Pinfall.
He's
So,
He's the ace.
the reason why I'm picking this one is because it's a clear white background. They're both fairly easy to draw. The outlines, no complicated images. There's nothing there's nothing that's going to be too complicated for you when you're just starting to draw. And when you see an image that you like, it will just appeal to you. Things that jump out at you that say, "Oh, I would like to draw that." Like, like this one and this one. It caught my interest, and this one too. Just the face and the smile. This one, it was the eyes. Similar with that one too. I mean, that's the same for me, because my particular poison is I like seeing the eyes of people, and the eyes tell the story for me. Alright, so now it's nice and quick. Question 4. I picked this one because I hear people say I hear people say this one all the time. I can only draw stick figures. How can I improve? Well, you improve just by drawing. The more you draw and keep drawing, the better you'll become. When you're just starting to draw or to get better at drawing, it is best or better, in my opinion, to just start out with cartoon characters like this, because the easiest thing to do is, instead of trying to go in and draw an eye first and doing stuff like that, is to like I say, shadow drawing. Draw the shadows, draw the shade. And as you can see, as with a cartoon character, there is no shadow, there is no shade. But what there is the outline of the characters, or black. They have black highlights on the... You have black highlights around the edges and around the frames of them. Okay, I messed this one up already. I know most people would say it shouldn't matter if you're left-handed or right-handed, but from my experience, that isn't the case. Like, Danger Mouse on here is positioned for someone that's right-handed to draw. So it isn't going to be perfect, whereas Penfold on the left there, going left to right is easier to draw for a left-handed person. Hey, I got it back. I thought I messed this up beyond. But no, seriously though, because the cartoon characters are like this, have the highlights, it's going to be easier for you to start with these. Just so you can train your mind, because it is really it is muscle memory. More you draw something, the more your hand and your mind remembers, and it does become easier in time. I mean, even if you can only draw stick figures, that's still drawing, and you can always tell a story with it and have fun with it. Yeah, the neck's messed up a bit here, but yeah, if you try to draw people, the hardest, the extremities on drawing people is normally what's the hard part. But with the cartoon characters like these, it's easier because of the highlights. And it's better if you do just stick to the highlights, because if you draw the shadows or draw the shades, they draw the rest of the body for you. Like, instead of drawing the circle for the head of a person, if you draw the hair instead, or the frame of the hair, it does the shape of it does the shape of the person's head for you. So normally, once you've done the faint outline, that's normally when you can erase everything and fix the mistakes that you want. But I really don't like doing that. Like the neck here. Instead of just make it part of my picture. There we go. I mean, you can, I mean, like, all the video guys and training guys that are on YouTube, they all show you how to use guidelines and that's fine, but as you can see, you really don't need them. Literally, if you learn to draw what you see, you don't need the guidelines. I don't like colors. Yeah, I've been using watercolors and stuff like that recently. But to be honest, black and white pictures have more depth and more feeling for me. To each their own. Okay. So, to use stick figures, I'm sure you've seen this one before. Let me tell you about the man with no arms. A man with no arms decided to go out for a walk in the park. But then he got attacked by bees. A giant came along and put a fishbowl over his head. The giant took the fishbowl and buried it in the ground, and later a hill grew over it. And two little hills grew in front of it. And that trapped 2 bees inside of it too. A week later, the giant came out and dug this all up and attached 2 socks to the side. And you have a doggy. So even if you can only draw stick figures, you can have fun with it and make your own pictures out of stickmen and stick figures. A stick figure turned into a dog. Penfold's too easy, so I'll try and pick something else. So let's see. I'll do one more. No, never mind. It's 32 minutes on the video. I don't want to make this too long. So there you go. If you have any more questions that you would like me to answer, put them in the comments below, and I'll do another one of these videos. Okay, have fun.